Hello, trading is closed on October 22nd, 2019. Let's go over our calls. So the likeliest thing was we gapped and promptly moved outside yesterday's range. That happened. We said the pattern had the early low. Don't be fooled by the shape. This is the pattern with the early low. This low's right on time. The late high's right on time. Middle of the day counter trend declines right on time. Usually it's a positive pattern because usually this high is over this low. When it's not, it leads to further weakness. It can all be invalidated if we gap up and take out today's highs early. As we'll discuss, I think that's pretty unlikely. We had some targets we get to cross off the list. This one from October 17, 30.08.30. Had one from September 20th, 30.09.20. No support under the targets, and then support broke. We had one from yesterday, 30.03.76. Had hit resistance over the target. Normally when there's a gap up smartly like this, I take this prediction off the table. I'm not predicting it won't print, just not predicting it will. I never define smartly, but I think when you gap up like this, the chances of failure of this to print with its preferred time frame, which is today, are too high for me. So even though it printed, I'm not going to claim any credit for it. Let's go over today's call. We had a MEJT plus 4 buy signal described in my book. It's usually good for 2 or 3 points. We got 2. When it hit, system said the rally was false, would retrace, said this drop would retrace, and they both did. Well, here's what we said. Typically, if you don't drop early, you lead to strength at the end of the day. When something like this fails, it tends to fail in grand style. So unless we gap up and take out to today's high, we should see further declines tomorrow. Don't forget, I want this number to be undercut here. This is 29.86 just about. That's the low of the hole in the wall gap, and these things usually fill pretty promptly. Support under that level. I'm looking for wave blue B to end. We said it was on life support, but I think it's come back from the dead. Well, here's our count. Now, I don't have a fib relationship between magenta A and magenta C, but you don't really have to. All we need is to follow through tomorrow, which is quite likely, and I think that's the end of wave blue B. And if there's a fib relationship between blue C and blue A, and if it ends within a wave 4 of lesser degree, then you come up with a target around 28.37. Well, here's some of the reasons I think this is it. Here's again fan line, 1 by 2, it's perfect. This is a fib target of a prior consolidation. We gapped up, hit higher highs, and then closed under all these prior lows, all these prior highs. It's a rejection of the breakout to prior highs. All you need is to follow through tomorrow by trading under today's close by 1 cent. Here's a chart that goes back to the beginning of the bull market, even back to 2008. This is a very significant trend line. We've shown a number of times. Let's take a parallel. And when you line it up with today's close, you see how nicely it hits all these prior highs. So we're right in a channel. All right, tomorrow's pattern has the early low, could gap up first. Gapped up, hit a prior high, gave it all back, undercut numerous recent highs. The pattern didn't close near its high, even though it was set up to do this. All that tends to lead to further weakness. Strong resistance at today's high. If we don't take it out early, and that's pretty unlikely, I think today was the excellent candidate for the end of wave blue B. We have a price target of 28.37. I don't really work with time very much, but I have a system I'm working on. I don't know if it works, but it calls for a major change in trend on November 14th. So I'd like to see that price on that date. Whether or not it'll work, I don't know. As I say, I think they take things a day at a time. Just have to hold this, go under this close by 1 cent, and wave blue C down should be starting. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. That's today's call.